Hey, sports card fans, it's John, Boggs fan. Hope you're all doing well. Today, I'm going to take a look at the top 10 PSA baseball card sales on eBay for cards from the 1980s for June 2025. For the month of June, there are 3 different Topps Tiffany cards making the top 10 list, plus 2 different Ken Griffey Jr. cards, and finally, one card from 1980 that you don't see very often. So let's get to the top 10. All right, at number 10, we have this 1989 Upper Deck Ken Griffey Jr. in a PSA 10. This one sold on June 16th for $3,051. It was an auction. There were 22 bids. The current VCP average price for a PSA 10 is $2,587. The record high sale was $6,050 back in February of 2021 through eBay. There have been 33,418 copies graded a PSA 9. 4,322 have been graded a PSA 10. At number 9, we have this 1984 Donruss Don Mattingly in a PSA 10. This one sold on June 25th for $3,500. It was an auction. There were 42 bids. The current VCP average price for a PSA 10 is $3,378. The record high sale was $6,500 back in March of 2021 through eBay. There have been 3,886 copies graded a PSA 9. 345 have been graded a PSA 10. At number 8, we have this 1989 Topps Tiffany Randy Johnson in a PSA 10. This one sold on June 29th for $3,650. It was an auction. There were 22 bids. The current VCP average price for a PSA 10 is $3,718. The record high sale was $7,399 back in April of 2022 through eBay. There have been 461 copies graded a PSA 9. 112 have been graded a PSA 10. At number 7, we have this 1983 Topps Tony Gwynn in a PSA 10. This one sold on June 6th for $4,000. It was a buy it now. The current VCP average price for a PSA 10 is $3,801. The record high sale was $4,750 back in February of 2021 through a PWCC listing on eBay. There have been 6,250 copies graded a PSA 9. 747 have been graded a PSA 10. Now, there were 2 other significant 1983 Topps Tony Gwynn sales of note in June, both of them PSA 10 copies. The first one sold on June 12th for $3,999, and then a second one sold on June 3rd for $3,652. At number 6, we have this 1989 Topps Traded Tiffany Ken Griffey Jr. in a PSA 10. This one sold on June 26th for $5,000. It was a buy it now. The current VCP average price for a PSA 10 is $3,491. The record high sale, though, was $11,995 back in February of 2021 through a PWCC listing on eBay. There have been 1,538 copies graded a PSA 9. 345 have been graded a PSA 10. Now, there was one other significant 1989 Topps Traded Tiffany Ken Griffey Jr. sale in June. Another PSA 10 copy sold on June 15th for $3,636. At number 5, we have this 1980 Burger King Pitch Hit and Run Pete Rose in a PSA 10. This one sold on June 29th for $5,555. It was an auction. There were 87 bids. The current VCP average price for a PSA 10 is this sale here and represents a new record high sale for a PSA 10 copy. The previous high was $1,526 back in June of 2023 through eBay. Now, there have only been 7 copies graded a PSA 9. This PSA 10 here is one of only 6 that have been graded a PSA 10. At number 4, we have this 1983 Oichi Ryan Sandberg in a PSA 10. This one sold on June 8th for $5,856. It was an auction. There were 45 bids. The current VCP average price for a PSA 10 is $5,832. The record high sale was $6,000 back in April of this year through eBay. There have been 189 copies graded a PSA 9. Only 25 have been graded a PSA 10. At number 3, we have this 1985 Leaf Roger Clemens in a PSA 10. This one sold on June 22nd for $6,500. It was a buy it now. The current VCP average price for a PSA 10 is $5,850. This sale here at $6,500 represents a new record high sale for a PSA 10 copy. The previous high was $3,075 back in August of 2021 through Golden Auctions. There have been 457 copies graded a PSA 9. Only 49 have been graded a PSA 10. At number 2, we have this 1984 Topps Tiffany Don Mattingly in a PSA 10. This one sold on June 22nd for $8,000. It was a buy it now. The current VCP average price for a PSA 10 is $6,211. Now, this sale here at $8,000 doesn't represent a new record high sale, but ties the high sale of a PSA 10 copy of $8,000 that first took place in March of 2024 through eBay. There have been 371 copies graded a PSA 9. Only 53 have been graded a PSA 10. And the number 1 card from the 1980s for June 2025 is this 1982 Topps Traded Cal Ripken Jr. in a PSA 10. And this one's special here because it is was part of the Dimitri Young collection. This one sold on June 13th for $8,989. It was an auction. There were 53 bids. The current VCP average price for a PSA 10 is $6,117. The record high sale, though, was $20,101 back in February of 2021 for a PWCC listing on eBay. There have been 4,623 copies graded a PSA 9. 421 have been graded a PSA 10. Now, there was one other 1982 Topps Traded Cal Ripken Jr. Sale of note in June, and it was another PSA 10 copy. This one sold on June 26th for $6,900. Well, there you go, the top 10 PSA baseball card sales on eBay for cards from the 1980s for June 2025. As always, would love to know in the comments what you think about the cards that made this month's top 10 list. And with that, that's all I have for you. So until next time, thanks for watching.